This Grace University, ably represented by Professor Engineer O.I. Okoro, who happens to be the Dean of Postgraduate School, and is my boss now. Why I say he's my boss is to notify you all here seated that I'm a student of this school. So whatever I'm doing, I will be discussing closely with him in how to assist and support this great university. Also, I wish to recognize the chairperson of this great occasion, Pastor Queen Elizabeth Ago. I also want to recognize my colleague, Commissioner for Trade and Investment, Dr. Isaac. You are also welcome. Please, because of time, Chairman, please permit me to dwell on a well-established protocol. Great Nigeria students! Great Nigeria students! I'm so pleased to be, in fact, this is my second time of attending a program in this university. This government of His Excellency Dr. Lestoti is a friend of this university. Also, the Ministry of Science and Technology is a friend of this university. You all know that this government uses technology, science and technology innovation to drive the economic activities of this state. And that is the only way to go. For sustainability, economic sustainability, security, and agri development, engineering and science technology has a great role to play in this regard. Engineering, science, and technology will contribute enormously for national economic development in the area of food production, employment opportunities, sustainable agriculture, industrial development, and quality of life of a farmer. You all know that in Ministry of Science and Technology, it's about research and development. And there's no way in the engineering department that will not have a handshake. There's no way. So we're going to have to work closely with the Department of Engineering of this school. For sustainable economy is becoming increasingly important, and engineers have a crucial and a critical role in ensuring its success. By designing and implementing sustainable solutions for infrastructure, building, energy system, and protect the environment. Mine is very simple. In our ministry, we always, in fact, the government of His Excellency Dr. Lesoti always emphasize on collaborative approach. Like I said, as a friend of the university, we in the Ministry of Science and Technology, we will open our door widely open for discussions, for research, for implementation, for innovative approaches to better the lots of agricultural development of the state. Before I will end my remarks, please permit me to appreciate a very great gentleman, Engineer Dr. Ekwe Obonna, who, in fact, it was yesterday I got this invite. And my colleague will bear me witness that we have a very tight schedule. And I told myself that we in the Ministry of Science and Technology, there's need for us to attend this great occasion. And that's why I'm here. He talked me through that I must squeeze out time to come and talk to ourselves. So I want to tell us that science and technology, engineering are just brothers. And we will collaborate effectively to make sure we deliver on agricultural development. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner for Science and Technology. Thank you very much. I'm sure after the handshake, the Vice Chancellor will tell the Honorable Commissioners what to tell His Excellency to do for us in Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Modike. Now that we have an engineer and a marketer, we are confident that we'll have something from the state government that we'll use to remember the government of His Excellency, Dr. Alex Chomuti. Honorable Commissioners, thank you for spending time to come, and thank you for your goodwill message. I would like to invite not the last, but second to the last, the Deputy Director of Rural Infrastructure in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Poverty, Food Security. Thank you. Let me invite Engineer Dr. Taye Tenyinse to please come and give us his goodwill message.
So that I don't make too much. The chairperson of the day, our beautiful mommy, and I think you deserve that name, Queen. Yes. The Vice Chancellor ably represented, DG Proda, my commissioners, members of the high table, our beautiful looking students, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am happy to be here, and what I have is just to share some words of encouragement to both the staffs and the students, and even our guests here seated. Let me start by appreciating the management and students of this great university. I have one takeaway I'm taking home today. I have attended conferences of this magnitude severally. But there's one thing I noticed here today which I will not fail to tell you. The cordial relationship between our staffs and students, I think I have a plus for you people. Yes. In some universities, I believe the professors and elder people here will bear with me. They will not even allow you, the student will not even allow you to hear what we are saying. But I noticed the calmness and the well-mannered students sitting here. I appreciate the lecturers. They are well tutored and they are well groomed. Thank you very much for this. And a step further, all the speakers here today have said something good about engineering as a profession. I will go the line of the old saying that many are called, only very few are chosen. If you find yourself in the engineering profession, you should consider yourself to be among the chosen one. And I want to make bold to say here, there is no poor engineer. No engineer in the profession that is poor. We only have lazy engineers. Our mother spoke as a mother, telling us the pivotal roles of engineers in the economy, in the society. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Do not make the mistake we, the elderly one, made. What are the mistakes? We are all running after government job. At the end of the month, they will say, in fact, we are even begging them now to pay us 60,000 naira a month, which Merua we earn. This man pushing truck to sell water, we even earn it in 2 weeks. Have you? So what am I saying? Let's go into self-employment. I appreciate the fact that the university curriculum is being restructured now, and most of you people in campus are being tailored towards do something. You should be able to do something outside. Get yourself employed. Let's even leave this government to one day beg us to come and take job. And that is what is happening in other advanced countries. By the time you graduate, you already have something to lay your hand to do. Not white-collar job, you retire after 35 years. They will say your gratuity or whatever is 3 million, 2 million, and you beg tire before they even give you that money. So consider yourself as a chosen one and take this pride by making the name of this university great. I would not be happy to see us queuing up on the streets, say we are looking for white-collar job. As an engineer, you must have something that you can fall back to. The population is increasing every day. You don't even need to think big. You can start small. And all of you are in Nigeria now, you know how much is the cost of a tomato. How much is the cost of stable food items in the market. Just a small garden behind your house can help us solve some of this problem. And I believe we'll all be proud to be engineers. And you don't rely on anybody. You don't look at anybody before you eat. One thing I want you to note and to convince you that engineers are rich. Have you ever heard in any arms of Nigerian government where engineers go on strike? Oh, you will see Nigerian Medical Association go on strike. Nigerian this go on strike. Has engineers ever gone on strike? Definitely there is a way out. And they are taking care of themselves through some other means. So join that means, do extra work, and God will bless the works of your hand. Finally, I want to invite you people to our national conference coming up in October this year in Abuja. And to tell you how pivotal agriculture is to all of us here, the title of this year's conference, of both the NIAE and the Nigerian Society of Engineers, has a lot to do with agriculture. You are humbly invited. I will discuss with the dean to see as many as possible students who will be able to graciously attend. There is a lot for you to learn, and you will be able to take home certain things. To my commissioners and the people in government, please, sirs, I want to appeal to you, use the opposition to help us talk to the people or our leaders of today. There are a lot of research works, universities, some of them are outside there, that they are exhibiting. Let's recognize them. They start today, they won't get to the point today. Even the ones we are going to import in China and advanced country, they started like this. Let's grow our own, let's use our property, and the university and the economy will be happy for it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. A whole lot is being said here today, and I do hope that we are taking notes, especially our upcoming engineers. A whole lot is coming out here today. Engineers are the ones who will determine whether we will stay in Nigeria or we will leave Nigeria. Is that not what they are saying? The chairman said it. The commissioner said it. From the Federal Ministry of Agriculture is also saying it. We thank you very much for your time with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to invite the rector of Abia State Polytechnic, Aba, our dear Dr. Okoro, to please come and give us goodwill message from the Polytechnic. Let's give him a round of applause.
The Vice Chancellor, Michael Opera University of Agriculture, the members of the university management, distinguished professors here present, not forgetting the chairperson of today's occasion. I want to also thank the commissioners, though they have all gone out as at now. In a special way, I want to thank the Dean College of Engineering and Engineering Technology, Professor Haneku. I want to also thank the former deans of the College of Engineering and Engineering Technology. Especially, I want to thank my own boss, the Center Director or Directorate of Artificial Intelligence, Professor Lawrence Idemudi Obokale. Thank you very much, sir, for molding me and assisting in making me who I am today. I'm so proud of you, sir. I wouldn't want to forget my dear students. I can cite the president of NUESA. I hail you, sir. Greatest Nigerian students, I bring you greetings from Abia State Polytechnic Aba, the Center of Academic Excellence. Of course, you know I am on loan. I am a proud student, or rather a proud alumni of this institution, Michael Opera University. And more so, I'm also an engineer, a registered engineer in the field of electrical electronics engineering. Let me inform you that engineers are good managers. Over the years, I have been part of a team teaching engineering in society and then engineering management. Most of you that are abreast with current happenings in Abia State Polytechnic, you'll be very much happy to know that as an engineer who is also in charge of the institution today, we've been able to make tremendous changes. Those changes that the rectors before us have not been able to make. Just 3 weeks into my administration as rector, as an engineer, I quickly moved and I was able to restore steady power in the Polytechnic. The Polytechnic have been without power for 15 years, but under my watch, in 3 weeks, we were able to do that. As engineers, we're also trained, not just to be analytical in nature, but to also have managerial prowess and skills. I charge you today to also move in that direction. The way forward for us today is to think, to act, and to implement those things we have been taught. Today is not a day for too much grammar, but it's a day for us to reflect on the things we are supposed to do and know as engineers. While coming in, I decided to cite some of the things I built here while I taught and while I also engaged myself as a supervisor. I saw them, most of the devices I built, and I'm very, very proud of what we achieved together here. And we are hoping to do more by the grace of God. To the university community, I thank you for making me, and be rest assured that I will continue to be a good ambassador of this great institution. Not just as a student of this institution, but also as somebody that had worked here for over a decade. It will be very, very unfair for me to end this, my goodwill message, without recognizing the ASU chairman, Prof, thank you very much, sir. We are very much proud of you, sir. To the participants, this is an opportunity for you to showcase what you have learned, as an opportunity for you to show us the way forward. And we believe that together we are going to make Nigeria great. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Engineer Dr. Koro, thank you very much for your goodwill message. Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman, I beg your pardon. Participants, would like to move straight now to the keynote address on this conference. And to bring us the keynote address is none other than the Director General of PRODA, our dear Engineer Dr. Peter Okudilechukwu Obobe. But before he comes, I'd like to invite Professor J.C. Adama to please come and present a brief citation on our keynote speaker today. And while he's coming, we'd like to pay special recognition to the PRODA innovative team led by Engineer Mike Ude. Where is Engineer Ude? Oh, please can you all stand for recognition? The PRODA innovative team. Please let's put our hands together for them. These are the men and women driving innovation in PRODA and across the country. Thank you so much for coming. Let's give them another round of applause, please. Thank you. You may be seated. God bless you. Professor Adama, please.
Mr. Chairman, the Vice Chancellor, sir, permit me to stand on existing protocol. An abridged citation of Engineer Dr. Peter Okudile Obobe, the Substantive Director General of Project Development Institute, Enugu. Peter Obobe is the Substantive Director General of Project Development Institute. He holds a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the prestigious University of Nigeria, Nsukka, a master's degree in mechatronics and production engineering from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and a doctorate degree in mechatronics engineering from Harbin Institute of Technology, China. He is registered with the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria and a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers and a member of American Society of Engineers. Dr. Obobe started his career as a researcher in 1996 with the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, Oshodi. He transferred his services to the National Board for Technology Incubation in 1999 and rose from ranks to the position of director in that center in 2016. Dr. Obobe, because of his performance in the center, he was appointed Director General of Project Development Institute on merit. And as the Director General, I am a living witness to what he has done in the center. In that center, the center was reading with the crisis. And so much that the members of the staff were yelling for external person to come and solve the problem in the center. Everybody, they wrote and became tired. The different unions are writing, crisis between management and the council, crisis between different units. And when Obobe was appointed a Director General, something happened. From the main road, Proda main road, going to Emene, surprisingly to him, he didn't want people to welcome him with a fanfare. Surprisingly, there were groups, different musics, dancers across the road that lined up I was with him, and there was a stampede. And I remembered there were many musics. Imo State were playing their own. Anambra State, Enugu were playing. And there was one music I remembered. One was said, "Oh, the Roy, oh, the Roy, oh, the Roy." That it is now good for us. And when Obobe came to Proda, for those of you who don't know about Proda, how did the Proda start? Proda was a brainchild of Ukpabe Asika, the former administrator of East Central State. They decided to bring together all the things used by the defunct Biafra during the Civil War to push them so that Nigeria becomes a hub from Proda, a hub of technology in Nigeria. And that was why Proda was established under the leadership of Professor Gordon Ezekwe. I remember vividly when we were in year one in the university, one Professor Mochijoke told us that they used products manufactured here to counter all the airplanes that were coming from America to come and bomb Ojukwu bunker. And they could not bomb Ojukwu bunker. So I would like to end, but I want to tell you people that Dr. Bobe has been a friend of Moayu. When we organized an Ozodo lecture, he came here and gave us money. When we did a conference on agric mechanization, he came here and also gave us money. On this note, I hereby present Dr. Bobe as the keynote address speaker on this great occasion. Thank you.
Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Hello? This one is not working very well. Let me see. Not the mic. Okay, the pointer. Thank you very much, Professor Adama. Okay. It's slow. Nobody should go down. Where do I point it? Go back to the beginning. Should I use my own? I want to sit down. Sit down. I'm really very highly privileged and honored to be here as the keynote speaker. I want to thank each and every one of you. And before I go further, let me align myself with the existing protocols. And before I align, I want to recognize the Vice Chancellor, ably represented by Professor Koro. Professor Koro is also a very long-term friend. Even though he's a professor, I'm still a doctor. I knew we all started. I think we all started together. I also want to recognize the presence of chairman of this Queen, Dr. Mrs. Pastor Queen Elizabeth. I think that your name Queen fits you very well. And then when you came back, I was looking at your face, and I can now understand why men were very much after you. To the extent that 7 men came to marry you. And what was going through my mind is that if at this your age, you look the way you look, I wonder how you are looking when you are younger. And I'm very, very quite sure that if all of us were close by you at that time, all of us will run after you too. I also want to appreciate the students. They are the reason why we're here. And I want to also encourage you to open up your minds
and then listen to what we have to say. Because one day you grow and even grow bigger and bigger like us. And then let me also appreciate my staff that came all the way from Enugu to be part of what we are doing. So be that as may, because of want of time, let me quickly go straight to what we have to do. This your pointer is not serving me very well. Hello? Okay. I want to begin by, if all of us can critically look at this, or if I've read the Zen story of the overflowing cup, teacup, when he tells us, empty your cup. The Zen story goes by, but I want us to also, we have heard what we're about to say now, we have listened. That Zen cup is a professor, they actually mentioned a professor. He came to somebody to learn some few things about his profession. And then when he came, the professor told him, instead of cooling down to learn, he started telling him what he knows. What the teacher did was to bring a cup, as you can see it, and a teacup. And I started pouring the tea. If you watch the tea very well, it's overflowing. And it kept on overflowing. So the professor that came to learn was wondering, your teacup is overflowing. He said, yes, because the teacup is full and cannot contain more. That for you to learn what you have come to learn, you have to go back and empty your cup. So I want each and every one of us here, steady here, to empty our cup. Because what we are going to say may not be new from what has been said. Everybody has come here has said one or two things. So empty your cup so that some quantity of liquid can still enter the cup. And I also noted when other speakers were doing, some people were very busy with their phone. If you are busy with your phone, it then means you have not emptied your cup, because nothing will enter it. So please let us empty our cup and then listen to what we have to share and then learn from each other. Okay, this thing. Hello? Okay, sometimes I like to take what people have said and then I picked those. Man did not move from the Stone Age because the world ran out of stones. Likewise, the age of oil won't end because we ran out of oil. It was quoted by the Arabian priest. Because if you look at Nigeria, what we have and rely on is oil. And not just like this statement made at Stone Age. We started manufacturing not because they are no longer stone. So I also want us to start thinking like the governor of Anambra State, Professor Ludo, so that think as if there are no box at all. Not even thinking out of the box, but think as if there is no box. So, this is your, okay, sorry, the pointer that is, so I just want us to, put our mind and begin to ask ourselves some question. And then imagine and ask yourself in the next 10 years, if in the next 10 years, what would your home look like? If you remember what your home, when we were growing up, we started living from the thatch house. And what we have today is totally different from what we're having now. And then will there be water for me to drink? Will I be able to use the soil to grow my plants? So this is not... Will I be able to raise my animals as I'm doing now? Where do you see Nigeria in the next 10 years? What if there's no oil anymore? What if electric turned off and never came back again? What if your crops will not grow next year? There are no natural resources in my country anymore. Think how can I make wind, water, materials, and crop work for me? How can I take the right decisions for the benefit of humanity? How can I apply research and development to support these decisions? How can I transform my country from a consumer nation to a manufacturing nation? How can I apply engineering solutions for sustainable economic development? How can I apply engineering solutions for the security of life and property? How can I apply engineering for the agricultural development? If you watch out, how can the last three icons encompasses the theme of this conference: engineering for sustainable economic development, security, and agricultural development. So what do? We have to a clear need for value reorientation. We have to reorientate our thinking. We have to reorientate the way we do things, the way we organize ourselves, everything about you. I want to use this conference, for example. The conference was scheduled to start by, that's the difference between us and those Americans and rest of the reference. If their program, if they say 10 o'clock, maybe by now we are finished. And each and every one of us have gone back to other things that we needed to do. But we are here. So this is a part of the value reorientation, time management. We have to also rebrand ourselves. We have to change our attitude to so many things. We have to invest massively in the science, technology, and innovation. Well, unfortunately, the commissioners have gone, and the other policy decision makers have. This science and technology is very, very important. Like if in China, where I studied, they have most supervises most of all the projects in China. Every of their projects. Before I even traveled my PhD, I've attended some programs organized by most. We have to also think of sustainable industrial development through commercialization of R&D. Sustainability is the in thing now, and thank God is the first word in your. It's like I'll use my own. We have to have emphasis on need-driven research. Then sustainable emphasis on need-driven research efforts. What I mean by needs-driven, like what we do now is that I have a friend professor then, he's from UK, studying. He said what he did was just open an office, open his door very wide open. And his door there, he can do anything. So people are coming with, if you come with his needs, if he doesn't know what to do, he just relates one or two things, and then people get the problem solved. And then sustainability we are thinking of, have to think of the planet as environment, how do we restore and conserve nature, the people, the social, that's we now that live in that. Then the profit, because whatever businesses you do, there must be profit. If there's no profit, you cannot reinvest. And then what then give us a sustainable society, where you have people like a triple test to have the people, have the planet, and have the economy. Sorry, this thing is not responding very well. I don't know whether so we're still talking about sustainable development. It won't be easy. I always like to use my distance. So I'll keep on. So when I talk of the industrial development, you think of how do we decouple economic growth from the use of conservation of natural resources and energy, and then do more with less and provide more with environmental impacts, and then develop strategies for knowledge-based driven economy, for socio-economic development. Because these days, it's not about your raw materials. It's not about what you have. It's not about proximity to the market. It is now about by your knowledge, your brain. And then when we have social development, there will be reduction in poverty, pollution, unemployment, resource use, and impact on that resource, your actions on the nature. And then we have increase in quality of life, health, and wealth generation. We can also take note that all nations now, whether industrialized or developing, face a broad array of challenges that require the application of up-to-date scientific knowledge and technology. Such challenges include stimulating economic growth, mitigating environmental problems, safely adopting new techniques, and quickly responding to sudden outbreaks of new diseases. In COVID-19, if not because Africa and Nigeria is blessed, all of each and every one of us will have imagined what would have happened if we were affected like every other ones. You can also say that no nation can afford to be without access to incredible independent science and technology research, policy and capacity, human and infrastructure, because you have to have human development, you also have infrastructure development that will help it to develop informed strategies, plans, and effective actions in all aspects of life. Nation naturals and resources and proximity to market were no longer a critical factor that drive economic development. Rather, efforts are rapidly shifting to knowledge-based. Nations' economic competitiveness increasingly depends on its ability to establish a high-quality system that foster innovation and promotes the development, transfer, and commercialization of technologies. The innovation ecosystem provides an environment in which emerging technology companies can be incubated and grow. Researchers and companies can collaborate, and then entrepreneurial tablets can be easily facilitated. Our challenges, the problem we have is economic mismanagement. We are living in Monaco and abject poverty. If you look at the middle of both the left and right side, what we have at the middle is oil. If you look at the other side, you see poverty. If you look at the other side, you see affluence. So while we bridge this gap, those are poor are extremely poor. Those are also rich are extremely rich. And then that's part of the challenges of the society. We also have socio-cultural problems. The other side, the right to have religious intolerance. And then the other one is demonstrations. The middle is corruption. And then we also have environmental issues. Most of this what we have happens in Niger deltas, and this is exactly where the oils are coming from. Then if you go around most of the places, you can imagine what people go through in terms of environmental degradation. We also have human rights abuses, which is prevalent in and around us. If there's absolute human rights, where you know your right, you stand by your right without any fear of intimidations, I think we'll be in a better society. You can also remember, this picture you are seeing is the immigration recruitment tragedy, which all of us are very familiar with. So this, I'm sure the number of opportunity required in this is not, these are the ones that died, these are stadium, people are trying to, just to submit form. It's not even as if they're going to be employed. This immigration tragedy is very common to us. And then you can have for the continued. Most of these Okada drivers, you have interacted Okada drivers with one of them. Most of them are graduates. Because they are no job and they need white-collar jobs, they get involved in some of all these activities. Then our challenge continues. We have a pressure population of about 200 million on available land. The population is increasing and the land is not increasing. I remember when we were growing up, this issue of headers, farmers clashes was not very predominant. Because I did my primary school in Uzuwani. That time they have a whole lot of, plenty of Fulanis living around us. And there was no fight. We live in them. We have low income and no level of environmental awareness, as we have shown in the pictures. We have weak infrastructure and human capacity, weak linkage interaction between R&D key players. If there's no interaction between the two key players, we're not going to make any headway. And then the economy is predominantly, if you look at our national budget, our budget is dependent on, they give the budget based on oil benchmark. And then we have consumer imports, if not because of the increase in dollar, people have average for drink. Some people even then drink imported waters. We have a strong financial assembly industry, but weak capital, goods and system integrations, under development of university research systems. The research systems in the university is not what it ought to be or what it's supposed to be. And then we have no or weak government R&D policy implementation strategies. Like if I studied in China, if you see the interaction between the industries and researchers in universities. For example, in our PhD thesis, the first line you see in your PhD thesis is source. Who is funding your research? And what value is that your research output to the industry? You don't just go into research without having a source of who's funding it. And then most lecturers, most professors, they strive and work, compete among themselves to have what they have called state key laboratories. That state key laboratories are funded by Chinese government. You have a whole lot of flats for you, for your researchers or scholars that are visiting other countries with a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I visited my colleague who we graduated together. He has a medical robot because I did mechatronics. I visited his factory. He has more than 100 employees, and he's still a professor of the university. So I don't know the law guiding university systems, whether professors are not allowed in any way to commercialize part of their research results. Because my own professor had about 40 PhD students working for him in his project. and he pays about 10% of what he gets to the university. So I don't know how our own system or university system works. I don't know what the rules govern them. I don't know what they're entitled to get into some of these research activities. Because if it's done, it's going to solve a lot of problems and minimize, as we won't even have time to go to strike. Because they'll be busy. Because if you look at our university system, we spend more on strike than in the universities. So the challenges we face are complex and interlinked, but they also present opportunities for innovations and collaborations. Working together and leveraging our collective expertise, we can respond and create a more sustainable, secure, and prosperous future. We have potentials. Our strength in multi-ethnic and cultural diversities. We're highly populated. We're highly intelligent. We are enough that if there is synergy among all of us, we'll be able to do something great as a country. The interconnectedness of economy, security, and agriculture, which are now taking us to the theme of this conference, which one, engineering for sustainable economy, engineering for security, engineering for agricultural development, and engineering is at the center of it. So if you watch the three themes of this, they are all interlinked, and engineering play a very significant role. If we now think about the economy, so the foundation upon which our future prospers and well-being that requires a shift from traditional, if you watch, this thing has been repeated severally, resource-intensive industries to innovative, knowledge-based economies, and prioritize efficiency, circularity, and environmental stewardship. Engineers play a critical role in developing sustainable infrastructure, renewable energy systems, and green technology that drive economic growth while minimizing environmental impact. Homeland security is intrinsically linked with sustainable economy. When people feel secure, they are more likely to invest in their communities, start businesses, and contribute to economic growth. If my village is very well secured, I don't think some don't have anything to do in the town. When I was at Newe, I met one of my primary school mates. He told me, "I want to go back to the village." Now people are running away from money in the village and then come to the town. You want to go and meet money in the village. But if there are no security in the village, you won't think of doing that. So engineers can also contribute to security by developing innovative solutions for conflict preventions, post-conflict reconstruction, and cyber security.